Hello friends, welcome back. In the previous video, we have seen the introductory part of the ionic solid. Now in this video also, we have to study the remaining points regarding the ionic solids. Or we can say that this video is just an extension of the ionic solids. So let's start with this. So the next point in the ionic solid is the close packing. So what do you mean by close packing? So as the name suggests, we can say that the arrangement of maximum number of ions or atoms into smallest possible space is called as the close packing, right? So when we are putting more number of ions or the atom in the smallest space, that will be considered as a close packing. So in a crystal, atom, ions or molecules, they are arranged in a regular way in three-dimensional space. So each constituent atom or ion in a crystal is packed as closely as possible, right? This arrangement, we can say, has maximum energy and hence it possesses. So this energy, we can say that it has minimum energy and hence it is having the maximum stability. So on that basis, we can say that the close packing may be of two types. It may be a square packing, or we can say it is a cubic close packing, right? We can say that this constituent unit, they are packed in a square structure. So it is called as a square packing, or it may be called as a hexagonal close packing. They are arranged in the form of hexagon. Hexagon means one constituent unit is surrounded by the six another constituent unit, whereas in case of square packing, one constituent unit is surrounded by the remaining four. Okay. Further, types of close packing. As we have seen in the earlier slide, the close packing is of two types. Okay, the first one is the hexagonal close packing, right? And the second one, the second type of the close packing is the cubic close packing. So we are having two types of the close packing, hexagonal close packing and the cubic close packing. So let us study these two one by one. So we are having first type, which is called as the hexagonal close pack structure, which is also called as the HCP, hexagonal close pack structure. So what is this structure? In close pack structure, ions are packed together in the tightest way, right? And the structure consists of number of layers, one over the other. So let us explain these layers by using this image. So first of all, let us consider a box, and in that box, suppose if we are put a number of balls in a tightest way, so we are having the first layer. If we put the number of balls in that particular box, then we are getting this first, the green. This green, that will be the first layer. Okay. Now after putting these green balls, we are having the gaps. Okay. And in that gaps, we are putting the second layer, and that second layer will be this orange. Okay. And then we are again putting the third layer. Now this third layer will be put in such a way that it will be above the first layer. So we are having this green will be the first layer and then the blue will be the third layer. Are you getting? So we can say that we are having the first layer as the green layer. Then in the gaps of the first layer, we are putting the second layer, right? And then on the top of first layer, we are putting the third layer. So in this way, we are having the first layer, which will be named as A layer. The second layer on the gaps, that will be the B layer. And again, we are putting the third layer on the first layer, that will be again the A layer. So it will be the A layer, B layer and again A layer. So here further we can say that each atom is surrounded by the six nearest neighbors, right? If we consider a single atom, it will be surrounded by the six nearest neighbors lying in a plane. The symmetry is hexagonal. The close packed layers of ions, they are arranged in an alternate sequence, generally A, B, A, B, A, B. Okay, we are seeing that we are having the first layer as the A layer. Then the gaps of the first layer, we are putting the second layer, which will be the B layer. And then again the top of the first layer, we are putting the third layer. That will be again the A layer. So it is A, B, A, B, A, B. Right? So in this case, each third layer will be directly above the first layer. Okay. This ABAB pattern of layers gives a lattice with hexagonal unit cell, and thus it is called as the hexagonal close packed structure or the HCP structure. We can also see here the ABAB pattern. We are having the A layer, right? And then on the gaps of the first layer we are putting the second layer, that will be the B layer, and again on the head of A we are putting the third layer, that will be again the A layer. So we are having the AB pattern, which is called as the HCP type of arrangement. This is called as the hexagonal close pack structure. Then the second type, that is a cubic close pack, CCP, or it is also called as a face centered cubic, that means the FCC type of arrangement. So in the CCP arrangement, spheres of the third layer are placed exactly above the gap of the first layer. Okay. In CCP structure, the sequence of the close packed layers of ions repeats every fourth layer of ions is exactly same and lies directly above the first layer. And this sequence is called as the ABC type of pattern. And this arrangement of lattice corresponds with the face center cubic unit cell. Hence, the crystal structure obtained is known as either CCP, that is a cubic close pack, or FCC, means the face center cubic. So let us explain this by using, now here we have seen that we are having the ABC type pattern, means the third layer is different as compared to the HCP type of arrangement. So again we are having one box, in that we have put the first layer, that the first layer will be called as the A layer, right? Then on the gaps of the first layer we have putting the second layer, okay, that will be the B layer. Now in case of the HCP, what we are doing, we are putting the third layer on the heads of the first, that means the positions of the A layer and the third layer will be the same in case of the HCP, while in case of the CCP we are putting the third layer on the gaps of the second layer, right? So the gaps, so these are the gaps of this second layer, which is called as the C layer, and hence we can say that third layer is different than the earlier case, so it is called as the ABC pattern. So hence we can say that in CCP structure the sequence of close packed layers of ions repeats every fourth layer of ions is exactly same and lies directly above the first layer. Okay, so we are getting the A layer, the first layer. In gaps of the A layer we are putting the second, that will be the B layer, and on that gaps we are putting the third layer, that is the C layer. Then again we are putting the first layer, right, on the heads of the A, again B layer, again C layer. So in this way we are getting the ABC type of pattern. So difference in between the HCP and CCP is only in the third layer. In case of the HCP we are putting the third layer directly above the first layer, while in case of the CCP we are putting the third layer on the gaps of the second layer, right? So this is the basic difference. Again it is explained like this. We are having, suppose this is the first layer, okay, on the first layer, the gaps of the first layer we are putting the second layer, and then on that gaps of the second layer we are putting the third layer. That means this all the three, they are different, that's why it is ABC type of pattern. So this is the second type of the close packing. Next point that we have to study in the close packing is the voids, which are also known as the holes. So what do you mean by this voids or the holes? The unoccupied volume between layers of close pack arrangements of the sphere is called as voids or the holes. So we have seen that figures, there are numbers of unoccupied volumes, right? And these unoccupied volumes, they are called as the voids or the holes. So there are again two types of the holes in the crystal structure. Which are they? Let us see. So voids or the holes, the unoccupied volume in the close pack structure, there are two types. The first one is, as the shape suggests, the first type of void is tetrahedral holes, and the second type of void or the hole, yes, this one is the octahedral holes. So these are the two types of the holes. First one is the tetrahedral holes and the second one is the octahedral holes. So let us explain these two holes one by one. So we are having the first type of holes, that is the tetrahedral holes. So we have seen the shape. Let us explain these tetrahedral holes. These holes are bounded by 4 spheres. Tetrahedral means 4 spheres. So when there are 4 spheres, they are forming the holes, that is called as the tetrahedral hole. The 4 spheres lie at the regular tetrahedron. Okay, so we can say this is the tetrahedral void. These are the 4 spheres. Lower side we are having 3 holes. That means this 3 will be the first layer, and on that we are putting the second layer. So these 4, the space between these 4 is called as the tetrahedral void, and hence it is forming a tetrahedron, and the space between them is called as the tetrahedral holes. The coordination number of tetrahedral hole will be as obviously 4. So these are the tetrahedral holes. How we can say that these are the tetrahedral holes? So this pink one, that will be our first layer. Then on the gaps of the first layer we are putting the second layer. Okay, so this black represents the second layer. Now here this lower, suppose this 3, and the upper this one is a 4. So these are the 4 spheres, and the gap between these 4s or the holes is the tetrahedral holes. Again we can explain here also. This the first one is the pink one, and the second layer will be the black one. This is a tetrahedral, and the gap between these we are having forming the tetrahedral holes. Let us again see one figure for this, like this. So we are having the first layer. The black represents the first layer, right? And then on this black we are putting the second layer, and this second layers they are forming the tetrahedral holes. Okay, so this is the second layer, and this second layer they are forming the tetrahedral holes. So in this way we are forming the tetrahedral holes by the 4 constituents units. Then we are having the next one. Yes, the second one, that is the octahedral holes. So as the name suggests, octahedral holes. These holes are bounded by 6 spheres. Octahedral means 6 spheres. So we are having the 6 spheres. These are the 6 spheres. Suppose this pink one represents the first layer, and the above blue one represents the second layer. And the space or the unoccupied volume between these 6 is known as the octahedral hole or the octahedral void, and it is forming an octahedron. So the octahedral hole is formed between CCP or HCP structure. In the HCP there are 2 octahedral and in case of the HCP there are 2 octahedral holes and 1 octahedral hole. The coordination number as usual, it is 6 in number. The octahedral holes are larger than the tetrahedral holes. Then further we can say that the size of each hole depends on the size of the sphere. That is, larger the size of the sphere, it is greater size of hole made by them. So this is regarding the octahedral hole. Further, this figure represents the tetrahedral and the octahedral holes. So tetrahedral holes means the holes which is formed by the 4 constituent units. Then the holes which are formed by the 6 constituent units, they are known as the octahedral. So this T represents the tetrahedral holes, whereas the O represents the octahedral holes. And here we can say that the octahedral holes, they are larger in size than the tetrahedral holes. And for SCP there are 2 tetrahedral holes and 1 octahedral hole. The next point is the polarization of ions. So in case of the ionic compounds, when cations and the anions are very close to each other, right? When cations and anions are close to each other, the net positive charge in cation, what happens when the cations and the anions are nearer to each other? The positive cation attracts the electron clouds of anion towards itself, right? Why it attracts the electron cloud? Due to the electrostatic force of attraction between the cation and anion. And we know that the size of anion is always larger than cation. So what happens? Due to this electrostatic force of attraction, the cloud of anion get elongated towards the cation, right? And then we can say that the distortion of electron cloud of one ion by the electron cloud of the other ion is called as the polarization of anion by cation, or it is also known as a distortion or deformation, right? Let us see one figure for this. So we are having one cation and this is the anion. Here we are written it is a polarized anion, but before that we can say that we are having the cation which is small in size and anion which is larger in size. So due to electrostatic force of attraction, what happens? The cation attracts the electron cloud towards itself. So due to which the anion gets elongated, right? And this is called as the polarization of anion by the cation, or it is also called as a distortion or deformation. Further, we can say that as a distortion is increased, the bond between anion and cation takes more covalent characters. Earlier we have seen that it is an ionic bond, right? But when there is an increase in distortion, the bond becomes covalent in nature. So when ion is easily polarizable, the valence electron will be shared between the ions, and therefore ionic character of bond will change into covalent characters. The net results of the ion polarization is the degree of electron sharing or increase in degree of covalent characters. So this is also explained by using this figure. So first of all, we are having the ionic bond. Ionic bond between the cation and the anion. Cation is small in size, anion is large in size. Okay. Then further, there will be somewhat polarization, or we can say that somewhat covalent character, right? This anion becomes elongated. Why? There will be the electrostatic force of attraction between cation and anion, and then this ionic bond will be converted into the covalent bond when there is a polarization. Polarization occurs between the cation and the anion. So ionic bond will be converted into the covalent bond. That is called as the polarization of ions. Further, we can say that the polarization of ionic bond depends upon the capacity of cation to cause polarization and capacity of anion to get polarized. With polarization, ionic compound convert into the covalent bond characters. Then further we can say that the polarization of ion depends upon the first upon size of cation or anion, then charge on cation or anion, and thirdly the electronic configuration of cation. So these are the three factors on which the polarization of ion depends. These factors are summarized by the scientist Fajan in his rules, and which are known as the Fajan's rules. So let us explain the Fajan's rules. The polarization of ion is increased with increasing degree of covalent character. The covalent characters are favored by three factors, and these three factors are: the first one is the small size of cation, then large size of anion, and third one is the high charge on cation or anion or both ions. So let us explain these three one by one. So we are having the first one, small size of cation. So what happens when we are having the small size of cation? The covalent bonding character increases with small size of cation, or decreasing cation size or increasing cation charge. So when the size of cation decreases or when the charge on the cation increases, the covalent bond character also increases. The high charge density of small and or highly charged cation is able to exert a powerful polarizing effect that distorts the electron cloud around the anion, right? Its example, first example is, let us compare the NaCl, which is having melting point 800 degrees centigrade, with calcium chloride CaCl2, which is having melting point 772 degrees centigrade. Now here in these two compounds we may consider the charge effect. What is the charge effect? That means as the charge on the cation increases, we can say that the covalent bond character also increases. The second example, Let us compare the potassium iodide with the lithium iodide. Now here we consider the size effect. That means as the size of cation decreases, what happens? The covalent bond character increases. So this is the first factor, which is called as the small size of cation. Second factor, large size of anion. So the covalent bond character increases with increase in size of anion or increase in charge on anion, right? The electrons of larger, more negatively charged anions are more loosely held because they are more shielded from the nuclear charge. Thus, these anions are more easily polarized by the cations. So, examples, let us compare the lithium bromide with the Li3 lithium phosphate, Li3P. Here we have to consider the charge effect. That means as the charge increases, the covalent bond character also increases in case of the anion. And the second example is the comparison between the lithium fluoride and lithium iodide. Now here we have to consider the size effect. That means as the size of anion increases, which is the anion over here, fluorine and the iodine. So as the size of the anion increases, we can say that the covalent bond character also increases. Let us consider the third factor, that is a high charge on the cation or the anion or both the ions. So the covalent bond character is greater for cations with non-noble gas electron configuration, that is 18 electron pseudo noble gas cations, than for cations with the true noble configuration, that means the 8 electron cations. Okay, then let us summarize the Fajans rule. The Fajans rules can be summarized by saying that the molecules containing ionic character and the covalent characters. So the molecule's ionic character is considered when we are having the low negative charge on the anion, whereas the covalent character is considered when we are having the high negative charge on the anion. When we are having the low positive charge on the cation, it is considered as the ionic character. High positive charge on the cation, again the covalent character. Large cation, ionic character. Small cation, covalent character. Small anion, ionic character. Large anion, covalent character. And lastly, when we are having the 8 electron valence shell configuration, it is considered as the ionic character. And when we are having the 18 electrons valence shell configuration, it is called as the covalent characters. So these are the points by which we are considering the covalent characters. For the covalent characters, we are having the high negative charge on the anion, high positive charge on the cation, small cation, a large anion, and the 18 electron valence shell configuration. This is for the covalent characters, whereas for the ionic character, we are having the low negative charge on the anion, low positive charge on the cation, large cation, small anion, and 8 electron valence shell configuration. Thank you. So this is the second part of the ionic solids.